Kentucky lost that game last night to Vanderbilt. So with a win, Missouri would get the third seed. Kobe Brown, it will be one of the graduates. He is one of the very few that has stayed all 4 years at the school. Trey Gilman, grad student. DeAndre Golston, grad student. Nick Honor, grad student. Isaiah Mosley might go down as the best who never was. This might be a fun topic for Missouri. They'll have a lot of best who never was. You will definitely go under never was. Noah Carter, senior. Sean, he was a big player and a very good contributor. Had some big games. Sean East, senior. John A. Logan, Kyle Smith-Peters, recruit. He skipped last year. Kansas State and Oklahoma met. Kansas State led 25-23, but then went on a 9-0 run to end the half to lead 34-25. Kansas State droughted Oklahoma 85-69. Texas gets upset by TCU 75-73, which will mean Kansas will win the Big 12 outright. And so Kansas and Texas is not as much on the line for Kansas and Texas. 25-20 and 5, 22-8. Texas. Kansas State will finish off their season with West Virginia. Tip is at 1 from West Virginia. Players that will be on the roll, 6 players that were in big roles at Missouri. Mizzou will need to reload. And right now they're 21 at the moment and recruiting. More transfers to come though, possibly. Jalen Carter, NFL prospect, charged with a fatal crash. Devontae Willock, who was an offensive lineman for the Bulldogs, and Lee car crash. What the police initially reported as a single vehicle accident. Carter in Indianapolis was a scouting combine. He had been slated to speak with reporters as a part of his previous scheduled media availability. A spokesperson for the reporter told Carter would be speaking Wednesday because he and his 5 other players were still conducting a physicals. Carter representatives told police that they were making arrangements for Carter to turn himself in, according to Shane Bart, of the spokesperson for the Athens Clark County Police Department. Police investigate have determined that alcohol, impairment, racing, reckless driving, and speed limit were significant factors at a toxic report. Incident that Lee Gore's blood alcohol rate was 1.97, more than twice the legal limit. SU, driven by LaCroix, was traveling about 104 miles per hour before the crash. The charges were announced today. Deeply, especially, were still struggling to cope with the devastation of the 2 beloved members in our community. Georgia coach Kirby Smart, in a statement, will continue to cooperate fully with the authorities while supporting families. We can learn from this horrible tragedy. The SUV of Georgia power pole and another utility pole slicing the pole in half before striking on the rear passenger quarter panel that sent the vehicle spinning and clockwise before slammed into another tree on the vehicle side where LaCroix Willock was sitting. Carter is a number 1 prospect in the NFL draft. ESPN's Mel Kiper, he's not participating in the workout portion, had him as the number 1 prospect in the NFL draft. Warriors are hopeful that Stephon Curry returns on this road trip. According to Royals Review, Drew Waters suffered an oblique injury on first day of squad workouts. Brewer Hendricks suffered an elbow injury, will keep him out for 8 weeks, and the 20-year-old landed awkwardly driving a fly ball over the weekend, dislocating his shoulder. 4 to 6 weeks. The Orioles may try to add some better veteran outfielders. Nicky Lofton, Matt Buteray, or
Johan Camargo.
And General Manager J.J. Picollis also said that Mike Garcia could get some looks for the outfield. J.J. Picollis said they're actively looking for an outfield depth. Jackie Badley Jr. converted by the Orioles before he hit the age of 32 this past season in his prime. The former All-Star Gold Glover winner has seen performance fall off a cliff. The two last seasons with a line of 182, 245 slug, and 265 games. He was a terrific defender over time. Perhaps he became the Royals staff, but he would really need to bounce back with the bat because of his unplayable at this point. So let's read the numbers again for Jackie Badley Jr. 182 average, 245 on base percentage, and 285 OPS. Royals, a one-time great Lorenzo Cain had a really tough year this year. Was one of the best center fielders during his prime. He had 130 batting average of 132, an OBP of 231, and he was a one-time a really good center fielder and won, of course, the World Series with the Royals and was a Gold Glove winner there and could steal and could run really fast. But that's no more for Lorenzo Cain, it seems to be. Top prospect, Delino DeShields was one of the top prospects stealing bases in 2012. He had 19 years old in minors, but has been just a 246, a 373, and a 343 hitter. He didn't make the Marlins roster last year. He ended up for the Braves top facilitator, although the right-hander is just 30. Can draw something walks and still has good speed swiping. 35 bases last year in AAA. Alex Dickerson could be getting going, but the Royals don't add much with him, as he has the same kind of skills as the two outfielders do for the Royals, MJ Melendez and Kyle Isbell. Obrul Herrera as another player the Royals could pick up. Herrera exhibited early in his career, but became a free swinger recently and has hit 254 with the OPS of 301 and a slug with 405. He did have 18 home runs in 160 games, 86 games. Over the last 2 years, he's been missing seasons and his opportunity to having oblique injury, having problems getting along with the manager. Jurgen Proloff is their best free agent remaining. He would check a lot of boxes. Royals might look looking for a switch hitter, in particular old. He just turned 30 last month. They should still have some productive years left in him. With a 243 average, a 331 OBP, and a 391 slug with 15 home runs and 73 walks last year with a 3.1 WAR. According to Baseball Reference, the Royals could face competition for his services from the Dodgers and other teams. Gavin Lax and move outfielder Chris Taylor to infield, but it should take more than 1 year deal worth around $8 million he made last year with the Padres. That's it for baseball.